you and blowing. I mean, that is so epic.
Yeah, no, again, it's just epic moments in Battlefield Hardline. I think that's why it's so exciting to play. That's why people keep going back and playing it, just because of just those crazy, what the heck just happened moments.
There's a lot of different, I mean, every Battlefield has a lot of that.
Most definitely.
But Hardline had a nice little variation to it, especially with the cops and robbers gameplay. This is actually on that bank map we were talking about a bit earlier, and a lot of different areas you can go to.
Yeah, like the rooftop gameplay on top of the bank. You're shooting at guys from the parking garage. You're taking a look at some of the storefronts. This on Heist is so much fun.
You're going straight into a bank vault in the middle. You can use the grappling hook to hop up to the top. And this was another really cool thing. They actually had just, instead of having ammo and health only from players, you can also just pick it up from these lockers that, I mean, we're in a bank. It has some ammunition in it, in the back behind. So, hey, it's there.
That's one of the most frustrating things as a Battlefield player, is someone who's not playing the objective, not being a part of the team. And I think Visceral understood that, and they're like, okay, we've got you guys. We're gonna take care of you. We're gonna put these cool little stations where you can pick up health, you can do ammo, things like that. And
they were the ones who made this being able to just pick up the ammo right off your fellow teammates. So if they're not dropping it and you're spamming the button to have need ammo, I'm
not gonna listen to you. I'm just gonna keep playing the game.
Need ammo. No, you can just go pick it right up off them, get some more clips. And it wasn't overpowered to where you're just pulling grenades out of the guy's pocket.
I'll just take that.
Rocket launchers. You're only grabbing some magazines for your guns. So it was a nice balance to where if they did want to fully hook you up with the grenades, they'd have to put a pack down for you.
Yeah, and again, that's just one of the cool features in Battlefield Hardline. I mean, so many people are still playing this game. They love Battlefield Hardline. I think it's just a testament to how well Visceral did with Hardline.
It's got a really strong console presence on it as well. Those guys love it, and maybe it didn't have as big of an explosion as Battlefield 3, which we were talking about the last hour. There was a big explosion in Battlefield 4 as well of new players coming in. I think there was a whole new variety of players introduced into the Battlefield franchise with this game who were interested in this very fast-paced, just gun-on-gun action gameplay that within an hour you guys are going to learn about the new Battlefield.
Which I'm so excited for.
Stay tuned, guys. Set some alarms.
Soon, TM.
We're a little over an hour away from the world premiere of that. This is getting exciting.
So, if you could wrap up Battlefield Hardline in just a few words, how would you? If I was brand new to the Battlefield franchise, I had no idea what it was. And I'm looking at Battlefield Hardline. How would you explain it to me?
Close range, fast pace, and epic. It was, you had those close range battles. You did have bigger range, but that's where fast pace comes into play, where you're going through the hot wire mode and going all over the map super fast. And then the epic moments with the explosions, with the sniping, with even the close range SMG flank routes that you can pull the shotguns. It was really quite across the board.
I think I'm just going to wrap it up in like 2 or 3 words. Crazy, chaotic, fun.
I would agree with that.
There it is. Well, Stone, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to just, to think about Battlefield Hardline and talk about it a little bit. But we've got a few more things to do before we end this segment. We've got some giveaways. So the first thing we're going to be giving away is the Philips 27-inch G-Sync 144 hertz monitor. There's nothing like being able to play at 144 hertz. That is, for a PC player like myself, is super exciting.
Especially on the 27-inch monitor. It's pretty dang nice.
And now for you console guys, we're also giving away the game's M155 in the backpack bundle.
This is really cool gaming monitor that is excellent. High FPS, HD, really crisp for your console games. And then, of course, backpack to go with it.
Put it all in the backpack, take it with you on the plane.
Exactly.
Which is really freaking cool. So a big thank you to Philips and Games Stone. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to, again, talk about Hardline. And guys, stay tuned because we are coming up on the final segment right before the big reveal. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 4, so stay tuned.
A ver, que no me cambiaré el título, chicos. Sé que me oís ahora. Hola. Vale, todavía no ha empezado. Las filtraciones decían que se podía llamar Battlefield 1944. Uy, que se me oye. Me he metido ahí de repente mi voz. Vale, todavía no ha empezado, ¿eh? Yo lo tengo aquí, ¿ves? Una horita. 3 minutos. Pero de momento no ha empezado, chicos. ¡Walala! Joder, sí que hacen publicidad a... Mira, la gente está como loca. Voy a dibujar un pene. Era un 8, 5 iguales, igual. ¿Dónde está el igual? Aquí. 5 iguales y este. Toma pene. Y me lo censura. Nada, vamos a Battlefield. Yo te hablo de las últimas horas y minutos. Saldrá el 18 de octubre. Pues estás hypeado, señor. TNT Disaster. Tienes hype. Estás con todo el hype. Vamos a jugar a un Battlefield, chicos, mientras tanto. Yo creo que todavía no he salido aquí. Misil de crucero. ¿Dónde ha ido? ¡Oh! What the fuck? Hypeado es poco, yo estoy igual, Estoy con la misma sensación que tú, tío. Tengo unas ganitas de... de saber qué coño pasa. Oye, aquí está jugando aquí la peña, tío. Oh, 30. ¿Habéis visto? Ay, vale, calidad. Tum, tum, turum, tum, tum, tum. Muy épico todo. Bien, pues seguimos. Chicos, queda nada, una hora para que empiece la presentación. Yo cuando empiece la presentación me quitaré el micrófono. Pondré ahí los comentarios en... Uf, tancazo. Pondré los comentarios a la derecha y de vez en cuando encenderé el micrófono por si hay algo que comentar del Battlefield nuevo o algo que me llame la atención. Incluso si alguno estáis en PC, os podéis unir conmigo. Nos llamamos por Skype, TeamSpeak o lo que uséis. Y si queréis vamos comentando el juego.
Friends, welcome back to the History of Battlefield pre-stream.
Mira, ya han
all
vuelto.
leading up
Un segundito.
to the world premiere of the new Battlefield game. We are less than an hour away. My name's Tim, aka Darkness429, joined by Level Cap. We have a very special guest here to kind of finish everything off. Got David Sterling, producer over at Dice LA.
Mira, no sabía
Sunny
que estaba
California. How are you?
Sargento Hitmarker retransmitiendo. No tenía ni idea.
How are you?
Ok,
Yeah, I mean,
sí que vi que ayer
let's
hizo dos pruebas, pero no sabía nada.
Yeah, I
Tío,
mean,
me paso el día dormido.
So excited.
Yeah.
Super.
And hi everyone in LA. It's
So-
warmer here today.
El de la derecha es
so, I mean,
Messi
like,
con
this
barba.
is-
Y
we're in London.
alemán.
It's very nice out, but it's a lot different for you. I mean, you've been over working in LA.
Yeah, I have for the last 5 years or so.
Yeah,
I used to work in Sweden as well.
cool.
Started on BF2, Bad Company, 2142. Left for a little bit, came back.
Cool.
and
Prodigal
now-
Son returns.
Yeah, no. Well, I went to LA and then eventually Dice started in LA. and
Cool.
I
And then you
tagged
can-
along and BF4 happened. BF4 City.
Which you've been doing a lot of work on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, and then we're definitely going to be touching on that.
Yep.
Estamos
in a little
escuchando de
bit.
fondo.
But as
Creo,
always,
si no me
we've got
equivoco,
Jack Frags
que es
to
el
talk
de
about the
David
history of
Sirla,
Battlefield
ese.
4, so let's take a look at that.
El tal famoso Sirla.
BF4 originally debuted in March 2013 with a stunning 4K PC gameplay trailer showing off the fishing in Baku mission from the single-player campaign that wowed audiences. But as always, it's multiplayer that was the mainstay for the players. As of today, more than 2 years after the launch of the game, there are over 100,000 people playing every single day. A testament to how well the game has been supported, developed and added to after launch. Levolution was the main selling point for BF4 multiplayer, and it was one of the main things that was showcased when the game was first announced at E3 in June 2013. I'm sure most of you are fully aware of what Levolution is, but for those who aren't, it's a feature whereby the players in-game can cause level-changing events such as bringing down the skyscraper on Sea of Shanghai, for example. Some people loved it, some people hated it. There were also weather-related events like the storm coming in on Parasol Storm, for example, or the dust storm in the Gulf of Oman in a future DLC. In terms of gameplay, BF4 would be very similar to BF3. The four classes were still the same, albeit a few small differences in weaponry and gadgets: assault, engineer, recon and support. The squad system would also see the size increased from the 4-player squads of the last 3 games up to 5 players. BF4 was once again powered by a new iteration of the Frostbite engine, Frostbite 3. The latest version of the engine would bring with it a load of new technology that could be used to make games look almost lifelike in certain circumstances. Battlefield 4 was also responsible for creating the CTE or community test environment. DICE wouldn't know this at the time, but this work-in-progress version of the game would improve and help Battlefield 4 in many more ways than they could ever imagine. A massive upgrade to the netcode, including the addition of high tick rate servers, game mechanics, balance, new features and entire maps tested and created with the community would change the way BF4 was updated to the point where I believe a test version of Battlefield will now be available with all new titles. The CTE changed Battlefield 4 for good and moulded it into an excellent game, some fans swearing that it's the best game in the series so far, with excellent balance, features and packed full of content.
Welcome back, Jack. Thank you so much for that informative video. So again, we're joined by David Serlin, producer over at DICE LA. David, tell us, you kind of touched on a little bit of what you do, but let's really dive in as to what you do over at DICE LA as a producer.
So I help
with
run,
Battlefield 4.
Yeah. So Battlefield 4 specifically, of course. We took over the premium service for BF4, so we made a bunch of those expansion packs that you've played and loved, I hope.
Yeah, no, like I had the pleasure of actually getting to do the Dragon's Teeth reveal with you guys over at DICE, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. We also pushed a lot of the community involvement. We really wanted to talk to you guys, talk to everyone that played the game and listen very closely.
Seguir jugando porque todavía no están hablando de nada.
So we started building a team that could do that efficiently. Because this is kind of different from regular game development, where you build something that comes out, people play it and love it and buy it. This is basically taking on after
Parece que me muero.
And in BF4's case, there was some issues initially, and we had to fix all the issues and release content, and we need to do it in a way that was safe and made it immensely better to regain trust and build that up and make it the game it is today. We've done it, and I believe
volvemos,
further than I even imagined.
Oh yeah.
So the CTE came. It's not a new concept, right?
No.
Other games do this, MMOs do this specifically. We took that concept and made that work for us. But it required us to build a team that worked in that way. So what I do is basically, on BF4, I did a lot of communications with the community. Yeah. I listened, I read stuff, and of course planned new content, which came in year 2 as well.
Good job.
Yeah. And it's a really fun job too. I mean, yes, I had to listen to a lot of people giving me like, you should do this, you should not do that. But I mean, that's part of it. And not everyone will agree what we choose to do is the right thing. But it's very interesting to see how this community I mean, it's all over the board.
It's very diverse.
Yeah.
Extremely diverse.
And you have like old geezers, older than me, like Lars, I mean, born in 1942. I mean, they're still playing the game with their kids now.
Which is
and
great.
then you have the new kids that just came in recently.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of cater to all of that.
Right.
And make everyone happy. Right? So it was a challenge for sure. But I loved it. It was awesome. And it was such a great feeling that be able to release twice a week, which we did. And at the peak, we even released 3 times a week on the test environment. Get feedback, play it with the community the next day, make an update on the Friday, do it again.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, and I hope the players saw that. We became really passionate about this.
Yeah.
And all the devs were, I mean, sometimes even took it too far. And like, oh, you have to calm down. Like,
Calm down.
take a week off first. and you know, and we don't have to overdo it. But it was such an amazing journey.
Must have been so different from Battlefield 3's development in comparison because you had this feedback platform.
Yes.
If you had a crazy idea, you said, let's try it out, and then everybody's like, that's awful, or it's great, and then you can take them forward rather than, here's a giant patch we've been working on for the past 3 months, guys. Hope you like it. You know, like, it's just, it seems like a really great idea. Like that.
Yeah, and I mean, we used to do this back in BF2.
I remember that.
There was a lot of listening to the community, feedback, get that in there, try it out. Fixed a lot of issues in that game that way as well. We did push some pretty big stuff here, though. Technically, that was
Oh, vaya
really hard
encerrada de
to hack.
respawn,
We
eh.
changed the tick rate and the netcode in conjunction with Hardline because we worked really tight with them.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
shared
Les tenemos
features,
encerradísimos en
like
sus
low-level
respawn,
features
chicos.
that they could test on our city before they had their own.
Vehicle physics and stuff,
Yeah,
too.
we did a lot of stuff, and we prototyped things that never made it into the game, but we could do some fun things too, like I did a football game where you, that was me on my off time, and
Oh,
others-
is that the little soccer field?
Yeah.
On
when
Cascade
World
border?
Cup was on, yeah.
Okay.
And we did a lot of that. I mean, we wouldn't release that in the real game, but it was such a treat to be able to do small things like that and show it off, because we do that internally.
Yeah, like Christmas and Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
like the cool theme packages that you rolled into this huge.
Is that
Yes.
4th of July, all the explosions
Yeah,
and fireworks?
with the awesome electric guitar
Yeah.
anthem.
Bueno,
American,
pues
American
aquí los
national
tenemos
Yeah.
encerrados en
made
su
by our
respawn.
awesome,
Aquí mientras tanto
Jeff.
están
Thank
hablando
you, Jeff.
de
It was cool. It
de
added
Battlefield
so much
4
more
ahora.
reason to
Quedan
get into
50
the
minutos,
CT, 'cause you could do
chicos.
stuff that you wouldn't
Y
see,
estoy
you know,
abierto a...
And to be fair, we had to do that too, because that's the way we drove people in there too. We needed, when we needed, like, we looked at a lot of statistics over, did this work, did we make this a bit better or worse, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We needed massive amounts of hours played.
And it's hard to do that with playtesting. Like, you only have a limited amount of people that can only work for so many hours, but when you throw it out in the wild,
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
And it's so
people.
much safer too, so you
Most
can do
definitely.
more crazy changes quicker
Yeah.
that way.
Bah, ¿por qué me bajaría?
It was just a lot of
¿Por
fun,
qué me
you know,
bajaría?
so you have to drive engagement
No
in
tenía
two
que haberme
things.
bajado,
Both the main game and
chicos.
keep players playing and happy, and in our test environment, which became its own little community.
Bueno, pues
in a
mientras
way.
tanto estamos
We had players
escuchando...
playing more there than they did in the main game.
Which was crazy. Like, you
Yes.
go onto like
Cuando estás
vanilla servers and
comentando-
nobody was playing, but you go over to the CTE
pues,
and
genial.
everybody was there.
Yeah, and we tried that with the last expansion pack as well, Final Stand, where we actually premiered it. If you were premium, you had to be premium to enter this whole thing.
Right.
We premiered it over there, just to make sure that what we released worked as we intended.
It was a cool way of just to not only make sure everything worked, but it was a cool way to tease it.
Yeah.
Because you did like different rotations with different game modes, so that was fun.
Yeah, it was one map a day, right, for a week, I think, and then all the maps on the Friday or something like that. And yeah, I think that worked really well, and it didn't hurt any hype or anything like that. It was rather the opposite. We learned a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cool as like a gamer, or maybe a gamer who's interested in game development. You can see the evolution of like Operation Outbreak, like the white box version.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
Running
favorite.
around in that, and you're like, well, this obviously doesn't look like a jungle yet. Everything's white.
Yeah,
But then
untextured.
As you see it
Gray.
evolve, you can kind of get an idea for what designers and developers are thinking. about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, the whole of year 2 is my baby, really. I mean, I loved that whole thing. We could do things that we'd release for free for everyone and really look back at what Battlefield has been and pick the cherries and make it modern in BF4.
Right.
I mean, all of those releases, if you think about it, they have counterparts in Battlefield history.
Yeah.
The night map, that's Special Forces in BF2, and there's a lot of that stuff. The community map is sorta Bad Company Vietnam feel to it. The destruction of those buildings work that way as well. And then, of course, Dragon Valley is Battlefield 2
favorite, yeah.
Right? But I really like the whole community map project because that also forced us to communicate outwards, like we did videos with iPhone. Like, hey, what are you doing? I'm doing this now. Because we had to communicate so quickly, couldn't push it through the full machine, as you will. And Hardline actually showed us that because they did that during their, I think their beta or something like that, or they did that continuously, but mainly in the beginning. It was really good being able to do that. Just
I
open
remember
up
the
even more.
voting on like Battlelog, where it's like, which layout do you like for Conquest the best? Like this setup or that setup, and people could like vote for it and then go through.
And I mean, in the end, we ended up hiring 2 people.
Vale,
From
pues
this
por ahora,
community.
chicos,
Really?
Yeah,
That's
one in
awesome.
Stockholm and one in LA.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
it's great. I mean, it is the new
todavía
model.
no han empezado, así que
it
seguimos
really is.
jugando.
But like going back to what Level Cap was talking about, being able to vote on features for maps, like you guys have been a lot more transparent. Like when Battlefield 4 launched, there was a lot of unknowns, and then once you started doing with the CTE initiatives and things like that, you guys became extremely transparent.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory too. A big game release like Battlefield 4 and the coming game that we will announce today, it requires secrecy to some point as well. I mean, we're a publicly listed company.
Right.
And I mean, I kind of fought with that as well during year 2 and the other releases we had because I wanted to talk about everything immediately.
Who doesn't?
And you can't really do that from a financial standpoint, which I even openly talked about with the people that really cared. But just being able to say that, the fact that no, it's this, and no, we're not doing it because, or we decided to do X instead of Y.
Right.
And just be open about it was part of that whole regaining the trust. Because the only way you can regain trust is to show people why you do things.
And they definitely appreciate it. I mean, I think you can see in the community, like they really, really appreciate what you guys did.
I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome being part of this because
it's a cool era for gaming, right? Because this was never gaming when I grew up. It was like if you had a problem with the game or you had an idea, you could write a letter and you'd never hear back.
Wait, how old are you?
31. But this BF4 felt like so much more in touch with the developers the whole time, the whole way through, and being able to like get instantaneous feedback and stuff. It was just CTE, I think, is the best thing that happened to the modern Battlefield game.
I tend to agree with that, but I'm kind of biased. And I want to kill a rumor that's been going on the internet for a long while now, and that is that DICE LA fixed Battlefield 4, and we have the CT and all that. DICE Stockholm helped us immensely. I mean, we have the animation director over there, hi Michael, doing a lot of work to improve and constantly improve, and so was the case in many other instances as well.
You guys might be far apart.
No, we're
But
like
you guys
this.
are.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of friends over there since I worked there, and then it's like this. I mean, we're one
But
DICE.
it's nice having an office in the States.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier to work with the guys over at EA. They're over there in Redwood Shores. So and it's nice for you because you get to be warm instead of freezing your butt off in Stockholm.
But it's also nice to cover the Western Hemisphere in terms of time zones when it comes to a live service like the CT and Battlefield 4.
Fair. That's a good point.
It's a really good thing to have someone that can take over, or you can get something in.
All the servers are down. Well, they're all asleep. So.
Well, that never happens really because they are on 24/7. But
Right.
when you do outside releases, when something happens, or when you're working on a new feature.
You said you're gonna kill a secret. Talk about that.
I was waiting for something really cool.
The whole Easter egg thing. Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs.
We'll find out in 45 minutes.
You will find out. Yeah.
I'm really excited, and we're coming down to just less than an hour away. Talking with David Sterling, who is.
Did we mention Twitter yet?
We're going to. We actually have a poll coming up in a few minutes. So, like Level Cap was saying, make sure that you head on over to twitter.com/battlefield because we have the poll ready right now.
Yeah, lots of cool videos.
So you were just talking about Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And this
started.
Yeah, you started mentioning Easter eggs, but we're going to talk about the megalodon. So I really haven't had that much experience with it. I saw it, but I don't know much about it. So you guys let me know over at twitter.com/battlefield. Have you triggered it? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Or is this the first time you're actually hearing about a gigantic shark that dwells in Paracel Storm? Let us know over at twitter.com/battlefield. And remember, Giveaways. This is the biggest giveaway we've done today.
There's a computer.
There's a computer.
Full-on computer. If you won everything so far, you would have your whole computer set.
Yeah, so we got a computer, we have monitors, we have some peripherals, and we'll talk about those a little bit later on. I'm gonna tease you guys a little bit. We'll talk about the computer a little bit later on during the show. But let's talk about Easter eggs.
Well, have you seen
Bueno chicos, como todavía no han empezado, están hablando de los antiguos Battlefield, yo voy a seguir jugando, ¿vale? Lo tengo aquí de fondo.
It's not Parasol Storm?
Podéis comentar
Oh
conmigo
no,
lo
it's a
que
naval strike
queráis.
map, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there, no,
So you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I saw a YouTube video.
I also have not seen it with my own eyes, but what I did see was about 10 guys crowded around the buoy right before they ran over the rib. And I feel like that was just as rewarding, especially when you read the chat
So
afterwards.
there's a lot of teasing about the Megalodon. It was in Battlefield Friends, like their first season, and memes just screaming, "There's a Megalodon!" And everyone's like, "What are you talking about? A gigantic shark in the water?" And then Jack Fraggs, the Easter egg hunter that he is, was able to somehow decipher scratchings on a wall. And was able to, like, read things backwards in some Morse code, and he did.
I got confused just
Ahí lo
during the
llevas,
video.
creo.
It hurt my head a lot.
But there was a lot of work on that in that regards, and yeah, he did crack
Yeah.
with the hive
50% of
mind
their
of the
resources
internet.
that-
Yeah, Reddit and YouTube and.
It's impressive how quickly really hard riddles can be solved if you have the whole internet with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, I mean, Easter eggs has definitely become a thing. It's become a part of the culture of Battlefield.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
I mean, if they're not breaking the objective gameplay,
Yeah.
I love them. It needs to be something that doesn't break that general game. Then I think they're awesome. I mean, if they're funny, great. But if there's like even a storyline to it, I really like it. It just adds to the whole experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not being triggered like unnecessarily or
Okay.
something. If I'm on a jet's tail and the Megalodon comes and takes me out of the air.
There's a video of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's well scripted.
Yeah.
No sé dónde vino, ¿eh?
It just happened. It just happened. Yeah.
Who doesn't make giant gigantic sharks in the water and crush jets?
Yeah, I like the one. I think it was a pony line video where nobody knew you could do this, but you cut the cable on the big dish.
The whiplash.
Yeah, rogue
Yeah.
transmission, and the
Yep.
cable flies up, and it just took out a jet in midair. I was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
So, I mean,
It
Battlefield 4
existed
introduced
official live stream?
introduced
Yeah,
a lot of
man.
new things into the
A
Battlefield
lot of new
franchise. There's a
things.
lot of things that we had never seen before. Levolution
I-
was definitely one of them. These big events that really changed how the map played. Either the
Sí,
Siege of
en
Shanghai
Twitch.
Tower falling over, Parasol Storm with the big waves
directo
really messes
oficial
up
es
the
en
naval
Twitch.
combat for Battlefield 4. The dam, pieces falling over and crushing people. So I mean, it's definitely become a part of Battlefield. I feel like as we've progressed through it, Levolution has definitely become a part of Battlefield.
Están en Twitch en directo,
Is it
chicos.
now in the dictionary?
I don't think so.
I can never spell it right. I get it wrong all the time. Sorry, Tompen. I always spell
viva
it
Call
wrong,
of
so every
Duty.
time I talk to someone in
Con las dos con B.
I write it the wrong way. And I don't even remember which one it's supposed to be now. So.
Just go for it.
But I mean, yes, it is a staple for sure.
Yeah.
It is
Sí,
that big
jugando.
game-changing event that just changes the game
Yeah, I mean, and
during a game.
yeah, which is it's crazy. Like sometimes you're not expecting it. Sometimes you're doing something and the tower falls on top
It's
of
the
you.
epitome of battlefield destruction, which is
It really is.
always been
A ver, vamos a por algo
centerpiece
épico.
to a modern battlefield game.
Yeah,
And it's just like, hey, now you can take down a skyscraper.
which was crazy the first time we saw it during the E3 trailer.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my god, do
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah. I like the games where people would take it down within the first 30 seconds. And you're
they-
just like,
That tend to happen. Yeah.
They
It's like
just
I wanna
rush for
see
it.
if I can do it too.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite ones are the ones where it doesn't happen immediately. That can't really happen.
Yeah.
And we learned along the way as well. It started with the base game, and then all the DLCs had it as well. And
Yeah.
Most of the maps has like a major event,
Yeah.
and some of them are better than others.
Oh,
And some of them aren't
me han
really all
pelado,
that big. Like,
me han pelado.
I mean, you could even call like the train on propaganda like a level.
Vale, chicos, no me apetece de momento jugar, así que os voy a dejar con el directo.
Yeah.
The IEDs that you could like.
Yeah,
Porque
which
no estoy
I
muy
still have
fino a
yet to
jugar.
get a kill with an IED on.
That is true.
On,
I tend to shoot them all the time.
you just blow
Yeah,
them up.
you shoot them with the sniper rifle from far away as somebody's running past, and just
So then you
it's
get
beautiful.
Do you get a sniper rifle kill?
Yeah.
Oh, so that really
I
screws
don't
with
know.
somebody.
Yeah, I think it counts as a sniper kill. Yeah, it's amazing though.
And then, I mean, other things that were interesting in Battlefield 4, there's a lot of gun customization. Like, we took it to a whole new level.
Oh
Like,
my
it was
God.
kind of there in Battlefield 3.
It's quite a few guns too.
I counted them once and then I forgot because it's that.
I should know. I think it's like 100 and something.
Yeah, it's over 100.
Overall weapons or attachments for weapons?
Like
No
guns.
weapons.
oh, just base weapons, there's over 100.
Well, I think that includes sidearms as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the real number because I'm probably wrong. But yeah, I mean it's up there somewhere. And we added more. I mean we gave away 5 as well.
Yeah.
The free, the Gunmaster game mode / weapons crate we called it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave me more of those there as well.
And we talked about it during Hardline, but that's something that's really cool that you guys have done is just giving free content. I mean, that's something we saw at the CTE. You guys are doing like the night map. You guys have Dragon Valley.
Yep.
And then the community
Operation
map.
Outbreak.
Yeah, and just weapons on top of that, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy we got to do that. But I mean, it's also something we've done before, right? We did that in BF2. I mean, one of the favorite maps everyone wanted us to remake was Road to Jalalabad,
Which is an
which was
awesome
the
map.
final patch, I believe.
It was like the last one.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a great map
It's
as
a
well.
lot of fun. It's
yeah.
huge, it's big, and I love like how everything kind of goes over to the town. Like
City gets crazy.
Yeah, and like
man.
there's a burning jet that's in the big skyscraper. But anyways, I would have loved to see it.
It's just so cool approaching the city in
Yeah.
the tank, you know, and you're like, this is gonna get crazy real soon.
Yeah. So, I mean, CTE, something that you spend a lot of time on. What is your fondest memory of the community test environment?
I think it was when, I mean, we've never tried to show a map that early, but the community map or Operation Outbreak, which is the name you guys picked for it in the end, when we started that out, and we were kind of scared internally. We're like, this is really early. Will they really get this? Will it, look too bad?
Yeah.
Will it, look bad on us for showing this early? And then I just saw the reactions. And I was just, okay, no, this is going to work out great. And then we kept on iterating on that. Just that whole process was awesome. And it was over a very long time, too. But it built so much connections in the community. And people made videos and, like, time lapses. And
That's cool.
there's all those kind of things in that map. There's a lot of love in that map. Especially for me. I mean, we added a Rambo gun. And
Don't you have like a shack named after you?
there's 2 shacks named after me in that one. Yeah, the team
There's 2. I
decided to have a little fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what I say.
I like
yeah,
the
there's
Flight
2
of the
them.
Valkyrie song that plays in the Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Like the throwback to Battlefield Vietnam. And I was like, that is so cool. It was nice to hear that.
It was like Dirty Sirlin's, like.
You're still on about the shag.
I'm thinking of it because I remember seeing it.
Yeah, there's
Dirty
something.
Sirlin something.
So how did that idea come to be of using the community, I don't want to say using, but bringing the community together to kind of help design this map? Because it's not like you brought them in and they were coding and everything. You kind of gave them bits and pieces like, hey, we're thinking about doing something like this.
We asked
What
for
do you think?
direction, basically. Like, do you want to go to the jungle, the mountains, or... I mean, we picked the choices, but you guys got to vote on what we should be doing. And obviously,
Gaby,
a
si
lot
quieres
of
alguna
small
party
feedback,
en Play
like,
4,
I was
te
playing over
uno
this
y
area
comentamos
here,
el
would be
directo
nice
tú y
to
yo
get
por
more
aquí.
cover here, that
¿Qué te
kind of
parece?
stuff we listen to immensely. And we did that through our beautiful subreddit that we created specifically for the CTE, but we used mainly on this map because there was so much. We posted every day and we got something back, and there were so many people active in this. And yeah, I mean, it's just all the small things, really. And that in combination with us being able to improve on the netcode and add the simulation rate increases and all that at the same time, it was an awesome experience.
I think the first time I got to play on a high tick rate server was like one of the coolest experiences for me on the CT. Because when Battlefield 4 first shipped out, it was a very low tick rate for the servers, and then getting to play at like 120.
Ok, voy a intentarlo.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
The game has gone through so many changes from start to finish.
Yeah,
It's
it really
kind
has.
It's an entirely different experience, almost.
Yeah,
by
you can
the
say
end of
that.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
And the amount of content that was added to the game after even the last DLC launched, it's just like it's kept going and going.
Yeah, and
and
then
going.
a lot of people are playing it, and even more now that we're giving away the DLCs.
Probably one of the most
Yeah.
content-rich games you guys have come out with.
Yeah, I think so.
Does that make you nervous about upcoming titles?
I should be, I guess, but it's so much fun making all this content for you guys. So I mean, sure, yes, but also no.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at the Twitter results. We're going to see if people have seen the Megalodon or if they didn't even know that it was there. So, no.
It's pretty even, though.
What? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got 25% saying yes, they triggered it. They saw it. They probably saw it on YouTube videos. No. And then apparently 21% didn't even know that there was a shark hanging out over the naval strike map.
Yeah.
What is? I'm totally drawing a blank on the naval strike map.
I should know the name.
Oh,
It's the one with the more green water.
yeah, I
And a
know.
lot of small islands.
I can see it. It's got a bunch of little
capture points.
islands.
Yeah,
and
It's
stuff.
like islands in a ring. I can draw a map.
Yeah,
but I don't
but
remember the name.
Wave breaker.
Wave breakers.
Get it?
I think so.
That sounds about right.
Or that might be the one with the big rock, actually. That is the one with
Darn
the
it,
big
level
rock.
cap. All right. Well, we just started agreeing with them. But going back, this whole segment is about the history of
Nacha
Battlefield
strike.
4.
There you go.
Okay.
Maybe?
You got it. It just.
Yeah, I think that
Light
rings a
bulb went
bell.
off.
Yeah.
Nacha? Okay.
But we've been looking at the history of Battlefield 4. Let's roll things back and take a look at the launch trailer for Battlefield 4.
Gaby, invítame tú a la party, tío, que no me deja invitarte. Juegos completos, invítame a una party, tío.
My friends, welcome back
Ahí
to the
está, muy
history
bien.
of Battlefield livestream.
Eso es justo.
The whole day we've been taking a look at the history of Battlefield from 1942 all the way to Battlefield 4. It's been an amazing experience. If this is your
Vale,
first time
chicos,
tuning
pues
in,
queda
welcome. My name's Tim,
media hora.
aka Darkness429.
Media horita
I'm joined
justo.
by Level Cap, the one and only, really cool YouTuber.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, I like you.
Tim's a good streamer, too.
Thanks, appreciate it. And we also have David Serlin from DICE LA, producer over there, making some really cool stuff for Battlefield 4. We've been talking a lot about the CTE, a lot of changes that have been made since the launch of Battlefield 4. And you touched a lot on rebuilding trust and things like that. And the community has really, really appreciated that. And I know that.
And it shows.
Yeah,
too,
and it
with
definitely
the player
shows.
counts now. The game is
Yep.
still going strong.
Which is crazy.
and
I mean,
it's been out for so
over
long.
2 years now. I mean,
Yeah.
we're coming up on 3 years in October.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people will still be playing it.
Yeah. I've unlocked like every gun in the game like threefold now.
It's kind of like your job, though.
Yeah, you have way more time to
So
play.
you need to add more stuff to the game so I can unlock more. Yeah, come on. I've only put like 900 hours in. Come on, man.
Only 900? Come on, dude.
I know. Well,
Wow.
you're a streamer. Man.
Wow. So, one of the really cool things with the Battlefield 4 CTE has been the introduction of these free maps that you guys have put in. You put in the night map, which is really cool to see because the last time we saw a real night map was back in Battlefield 2 for Special Forces.
Yeah.
How was that? Because there was a community initiative to try to get you guys to do a night
Yeah.
map. There was some people that were using some tools to make it look
We
like
should
Yes.
clarify. Real night map is so there's faux night map
Well,
where
we
there's
have,
a gigantic moon in the sky. And
right, like
everything's
Operation
very
Harvest
bright.
and things or there
But
was
then real is it's hard
Actually
to
dark,
see.
yeah.
Right.
Dark. You need to turn on a flashlight. to
Right,
see it.
You need to
exactly.
use all the night
a
gadgets.
real night map. So
Yeah.
how was that getting to make that for the community? What was that experience like?
That was one of we had one slot, or I had one slot during the year where I knew there would be something that the community came up with that we could potentially go after and try and give them. So that became the night map. People said, yes, we make a night map. And we're like, okay. We made actually 3 night maps. Well, to some degree, we played them on the CT. We had the Siege version and Goldwood Railway as well. But Savod was the one we picked to take all the way. And I think that was a good idea because we also married it with a Gunmaster variant,
Yeah.
which had a new set of guns that were better at night. We did a lot of changes to how flashbangs worked and the flashlights and a bunch of stuff like that.
I
Spotting as
heard it
well.
was very simple. All you did was hit a little checkbox
Yeah.
that said nighttime, daytime, and you had a new
Yeah, you
map.
wish. No, but it came from Shadow 6 and Jack Frags and a bunch of others doing
Yeah.
with the cinematic tools on PC, doing playing, turning off the lights basically
Yeah.
on a bunch of maps. And we saw, that seems to be working pretty well. Maybe we should try and push for it.
And again, that's just an testament to you guys actually paying attention to the community and seeing
no.
what was really popular.
Yeah, and I mean, people liked it, so.
Yeah. And like the legacy map, getting to go back to Dragon Valley, we haven't seen that since Battlefield 2.
I know. I mean, that was my first game. I love Battlefield 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about that forever, but now we're talking about Battlefield 4.
We're on Battlefield 4 right now.
But that map was, I mean, we needed a vehicle map because the community map became an infantry map. We knew that. We knew we wanted destruction. We knew we wanted to go somewhere where we could do infantry with vehicles, but still infantry was like the core of it.
Yeah.
And so we needed a big vehicle map to be the final piece. So we looked at what was out there in all the games. I mean, we had a big poll that we did even like half a year before, and people wanted, of course, they want to be meat grinders, which we didn't want to pick because we wanted a vehicle map.
crazy
We
metro
needed
people.
to cover all of these people that play our game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people play our game for vehicles. So, and Dragon Valley is one of the premier like vehicle maps that works really well in converting. I mean, a lot of Battlefield 2 maps kind of require the airstrip for them to work properly, and Dragon Valley was just like the perfect thing where we could take it further and make it, modernize it to a point where it looks awesome. I mean, it's one of the best looking maps in the game.
And you said Battlefield 2 was your first game that you really like worked on. What was it like to go from working on that and then getting to put that in Battlefield 4?
That was cool. I mean, it's like throwback to yourself. But it's also cool to be able to, because I mean, Battlefield 2 is not a modern game by any means. I mean, you could jump like this high.
Yeah.
So we looked at it a lot when we picked this map for the remake, and we're like, oh, we have to solve these issues here because we don't do this kind of thing anymore.
Right.
So that was very interesting to see how much it changed and how little the core of it has changed. On top of that, so it's very cool that Battlefield stayed the same, but then also there's a massive change when it comes to how games are played and made today.
Right. I mean,
Seeing the bridge destruction back in there as well.
that was really cool.
It's like one of my favorite is just putting the blowtorch on the bridge after it breaks and just coming back together.
We had to have that because that was a tactical point of that
It's a
map.
big part of
That's how you
it.
brought like the armor over. We didn't. It's not a 1-to-1 because it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
We tried it out. It was much like longer. So it had that little crossing where you could drive vehicles over with a little island with a little birch tree on it.
Yeah.
We removed that. We kind of mashed the map together there because the distances were too long, and you can see so far in our game now compared to then. There was like a
Well, there was
wall
a fog
of
of war, so you couldn't really see that
so you
far.
couldn't see on the other side even. So
Yeah.
you could sneak around, take back flags and so on. And
Right.
in our game now, you couldn't do that. So we had to really incorporate that. And also, I mean, you have to have the bridges if you make that map. I mean,
Absolutely.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
It took a while to get there, but we got it, and I think it's awesome.
So I mean, it's really cool to see. Like for me, like I grew up playing Battlefield 2, and it was neat to see like the new generation of Battlefield players getting to play on a map that I grew up on. So it's neat that like they get a taste of what older Battlefield games were like.
Yeah.
Be like when I was playing.
Yeah, back in my day, we
this
did.
map played totally different.
That's how I feel when I play too.
Yeah.
Well, we added some infantry areas, which is mainly I'm an infantry player. Most people know that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I tend to stay in the central island or the temple there.
And that part,
That wasn't really there in the
and
original.
that part plays out
No, it was
totally
just like a
different
hill,
now.
wasn't it?
And it's like a totally crazy, like great infantry combat area.
Yeah.
And then there's like a whole battle going on outside that you're like unaware of. You're like, play the objective. What's that? You know, I'm fighting in this temple.
I mean, we did also. I mean, we did include the remake of in TDM on that map as well.
Well, that was from Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, to kind of please the hardcore infantry people.
Yeah.
Hopefully they were.
But it was cool getting them to mix all of that together and kind of just pays homage to just Battlefields of old, which is cool.
Yeah, and it was one of the top voted maps too.
Really?
Offshore Canals. Yeah.
I was really hoping for like Dacking oil fields. That's what I wanted to see.
No,
That
it
really
was
shows
way
my-
down there.
that
We
shows my
did
age.
publish all the results. I'm pretty sure, didn't we?
I don't remember. I think so.
I think so.
it
I
was
think
shown.
they came up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was we looked at like the top 3 from every game basically that we felt were appropriate. I mean, we couldn't pick a game where we had to remake the whole vehicle park for it to work. That would be a little bit too much work.
So we're gonna we've been talking about the Battlefield 4 DLCs, and we're actually gonna do a poll right now to see what you guys out there think. So head on over to twitter.com/battlefield. Don't forget, every time you enter in one of these polls, you could potentially win a really, really cool prize.
Yeah.
Freaking PC,
Yeah.
dude. So what is your favorite DLC for Battlefield 4? Is it the night operations, legacy operations, community operations, or do you just like all of them? Let us know. Head on over to twitter.com/battlefield. I like them all.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. They all have their own place. I mean, night maps is a little frustrating for me, but it is cool to see.
It was a water divider. I mean, we knew not everyone will love this.
Yeah.
And not everyone did love it, but the ones that really loved it, they latched on.
Yeah.
Like, more.
Give me more night. I don't like sun.
By the way, you should tell them what type of PC that is, because that's a PC you can play any game on.
Do we want to tell them now, or do we want to wait until the end?
Maybe we should wait to the end.
I mean, I don't know. Level Cut, what do you think? Should we
Well,
tease it
I
a
mean,
little
they
bit?
got to know what they're tweeting for, right?
Okay, all right. So actually, I don't have the specs here on mine. Do you have the specs for the Origin PC? Or...
I don't think so, but I know it's an Origin PC.
Okay.
It's incredibly fast. I mean, somebody told me a price point, which
Actually,
I can't say.
we have it on the screen now. So it's got an AMD FX 9370 octa-core, 8 cores,
Yep.
clocked in at 4.4
Not bad,
gigahertz.
not
You know,
bad.
I mean, just 8 cores.
I think you can play Battlefield on that.
32 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance 1600 megahertz RAM. We have dual 8 gigabyte AMD Radeon R9 390s, so running in Crossfire. And then we also, for those guys that want to start, being the next level cap, they want to take, take over the YouTubes, or maybe start streaming over at Twitch. Take my job. There's an Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pro, and then also we have peripherals. We've got the Philips 27-inch G-Sync 144 hertz monitor, and a bunch of other cool Logitech.
Yeah, and you'll be able to play at that FPS as well with this beast.
Yeah.
All essential gear to becoming a PC elitist, which, let me tell you, it's good. It's good to be.
Says the elitist.
Says.
Yeah. I'll admit it.
But no, Battlefield 4 has changed so much since the launch. We've only 2.5 years.
Yeah,
and it's come.
It's a long time.
Come this far, but it's cool that we've constantly had new things. For a lot of games when they come out, they have their set roadmap, and then that's it. They're done.
And I think one of the most important aspects of that is not only just as a company staying with the game for such a long period of time and showing that you're committed to it, but it also speaks volumes about people wanting to get the next game down the road. You guys are going to be committed to it for a long,
I mean
time.
that's part of it, of course. The more we keep players engaged in playing our games, the more likely they are to buy the next one as well.
Yeah.
But that's just state of facts.
Yeah.
But it's also very, very, very interesting to maintain that. I mean, we see people coming back now that bought the game initially, played it for a bit, went away, and now coming back and playing again.
Right.
That makes me happy every day. I see that. Oh, I played Battlefield again.
Yeah.
Because I still watch everything you write everywhere.
I mean, you're saying that you watch a lot of the content that's being put out there. So we've been, for the past couple of hours, we've been showing off these really cool montages and giving out some really cool awards. So we've got Hazard Cinema with his 64-man base jump. So let's take a look at that. Welcome back. We just saw something absolutely crazy. We saw 64 players jumping off the tower in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine trying to just get 64 people to listen, or 63 people to listen to me.
It's mostly impossible.
I would think it's impossible. Like, that's a headache in my eyes. But my friends, we are less than 20 minutes away from the reveal of the newest battlefield. It's crazy.
I can't wait, dude.
Like,
it's like, just remember what you feel like now.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna
like,
not know.
I literally have goosebumps
20
just talking
minutes,
about it right now.
yeah.
Like, this is nuts. No, yeah, look, literally, like goosebumps. It's weird.
It's not because it's freezing.
Or it's just really cold. I mean, I don't know. I just like, you know, I don't know. Either losing blood or
Yeah, I'm
just
super
hype.
excited.
Yeah, it's so cool just to see how far Battlefield has progressed from 1942 all the way to Hardline. You know, the things that you guys have done with the CTE for Battlefield 4, how much it's really changed. And you guys have really changed the way that I think Battlefield's going to go on through the future. I mean, I'm sure we'll see these initiatives in upcoming titles, and I would hope we see more, that transparency going forward. So it's really
sure
cool.
hope so. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's the way to do.
I think a lot of just modern development as well has shown how effective transparency is and just engaging. And in a way, it's sort of a self-propagating thing where people start talking about it. And they're like, hey, I talked about this idea, now they're doing it, you know? And then more people
Yeah,
get
no, I
involved.
mean, we see a lot of other developers doing similar things, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we could talk about this all night about, you know, Battlefield just in general, but it's time.
Yeah.
We have come to the end of the history of Battlefield, and it's time to look at the future. You know, you have to look at where you came from to know where you're going, and it's time to see where Battlefield is going. So, guys, thank you so much for watching the history of Battlefield. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to hang out with you guys and talk about Battlefield. So, Level Cap, it's been a pleasure. David, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
And my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the Battlefield. Take care.
Buenas, Tonic. Hola, si usted ya tiene el directo, vale. Es Battlefield 1, no 5. Hasta las 10 no se sabe. Ah, joder, que no ha empezado. Un minuto, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute, se me oye en el directo. Un saludo a Juegos Completos, Guille Omega Kira. Y a todo el mundo que me está aquí comentando y chateando. Chicos, estamos a 1 minuto de que empiece el directo. 38 segundos, 37, 36, 34, 33, 32, 30... 19, 18, 17, 16 y 14. ¡Ah, qué nervios, chavales! El hype. Chicos, comentarme, ¿vale? Vamos a comentar lo que veamos. Tengo a Juegos Completos también, que estoy por meterle en la conversación. Va. Silencio. Un saludo a Loper y a Juanma y a Chanchi, que están bien. Estamos con todo el hype. Chicos, me quedo callado, ¿eh? Me quedo callado.
This is awesome. I am Jose Sanchez, and we are here today to talk about what the internet is losing their mind about, especially today. And we are inviting you to discover the future of Battlefield.
Chicos, qué nervios por la pantalla en grande. No me deja. Lo que puedo hacer es poner más...
And I know you guys are excited, so I've invited Lars Gustafsson, design director from DICE, to help me explain what's going on today, because it's a whole lot. Lars?
Vale, tío. Es el momento de subir viewers.
Good to see you.
Wow.
How you feeling right now, right?
Excited, I think.
Yeah. Nothing
That's
to be
the
nervous
word.
about.
I mean, I'm super excited, and even more so to see, all of these beautiful community people here. It's great times.
And you know, DICE has a stellar reputation in the arena of first-person shooters. Can you tell us how long you've been with the studio?
Vale, 128. La gente me está poniendo que les
I've been there
salude.
since not 1942, but 1999.
Fiebre, estoy en un grupo en la
I mean,
Play.
that's still
That's
last century.
close.
That's still the last...
1999.
Pero
and
si
it's-
quieres entrar,
it's
háblame por
17 years
Skype
now,
o
and,
por Curse o por donde
I've
quieras
done
por ahí de
that
PC.
journey, starting with kind of small crew of guys who had
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
hopes and big dreams, and then managed to, kind of push through, start building up the studio, and here we are today, many games later, many what we find as victories later, and I'm just super proud and to be here with you tonight.
And, you know, obviously...
Perdonar,
today is,
se me congeló la imagen.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's an exciting time. It's exciting.
Yes.
Today is the day that first-person shooter fans have been waiting for a long time, because you are here to reveal the future of Battlefield.
I mean, it's incredibly exciting, and just seeing everything in and around us on the nets building up ahead of this. I mean, since for us, it's always so super important that we push ourselves to come up with new ideas and new experiences, to push the boundaries and the ingredients of Battlefield forward. You know, it's the all-out war on an epic scale. It's immersive gameplay. It's strategy. It's team play and destruction.
I mean, who doesn't love destruction?
Oh, yes.
Destruction, right?
Yeah. No, I love destruction, and it's something brutal in us that need it. So, I mean, what we're going to show here today is how all of this and these experiences come to life in the next milestone of the Battlefield franchise.
But first, let's take a look back, not quite to last century, but at least to 2002, when you guys delivered the first Battlefield with Battlefield 1942.
Yes, I mean, let me take you back in time to my youth.
Time travel.
When the world was
2010.
quite different, to be honest. There were primarily single-player games, and when we talked about shooters, it was primarily the classical arena shooters, which we all loved, but we wanted more. We looked a lot at flight simulators, tank simulators,
Goat
ship
simulators?
Not goat, they weren't invented yet, I think. But in all of this, I mean, we wanted to do more, and we pushed ourselves, and I guess the outcome became Battlefield 1942, where we took the best of these and kind of merged them into a sandbox that became all-out war. You know, it was land, sea, and air vehicles on epic maps. It was team play, much more of the team play to capture objectives. And all of this fueled by what we always talk about, the rock, paper, scissors gameplay. And?
It's solid gameplay.
Team play,
I
much
always
more.
lose.
But, I mean, to us, we started to shape something. This became a formula, and by building Battlefield 1942, we started to see that there is a space for us where we can be unique and build a game that people haven't gotten to experience before. And I don't think we have a lot of trust in ourselves and high hopes, but it wasn't until that summer, 2002, when we released the demo of Wake Island, where we started to get feedback from all of you out there that we're onto something, and I think we were.
I think the fact that we're standing here 14 years later proves that you guys obviously did something right with Battlefield. So how do you take something amazing and make it even better with Battlefield Vietnam and Battlefield 2?
That's the challenge. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder. So what we did was, as developers, we tried to look at, okay, this is the formula for Battlefield, we think. Can we transfer that into a new era? So what we did was starting to build Battlefield Vietnam. It's a totally different experience. It's dense jungles, moist, you have the beautiful music, all the songs we love, but it's also very different gameplay.
Vale,
So,
chicos, no os
we pushed
traduzco porque
ourselves to
muchas
see
cosas no
could
las
this
estoy
work, and
pillando, ¿ok?
ultimately, I think we managed to
Fiebre,
do it.
agrégame
That's at
Skype,
least
que le tengo
my
ya ahí.
personal experience. It's a great game if I get to say so, which I do tonight.
You can.
But then we kept on pushing ourselves with Battlefield 2, contemporary era or modern era, with kind of, we wanted to push team play, communication so much further. And the whole reasoning here was that we wanted to provide the players, you guys and gals out there, to get to experience what we had felt when we sat in the office playing far too many hours of Battlefield 1942. And we were yelling and screaming, it's kind of, take that objective and cover me and enemy tank. But that wasn't really possible to do to that extent with Battlefield 1942 online. So we focused on team play, strategy, and I think, I mean, the history shows that it paid off, and it kind of resonated well with the community. So now it's more of a given part of the Battlefield universe.
And where do you think was the turning point for the franchise? What had happened?
Ooh, tricky questions on stage. I would say that it was 2008. This was it was a new generation of consoles that came out, the old new generation of consoles. And by that, we built a new engine called Frostbite. In order to push that forward, we also decided to kind of splinter off a bit and create something that we called Battlefield Bad Company. This series had a very different style and tone, I would say, and I loved the humor and the charm around it, and it seemed like a lot of people picked up on it. So that style and tone, in combination with what Frostbite allowed us to do, the destruction, much more dynamic environments that I had been hoping and trying to get for many years, but now we had the technology to do it. So that was a huge leap forward. We got so much more attention for that game. And then, I mean, from there on, it's just been crazy. Battlefield 3 totally exploded, and it was such coverage on that game. And then Battlefield 4, and most recently Battlefield Hardline by our friends over at Visceral Games, a great crew. So when I look back at that, I mean, the destruction has been a big part of it, but we also focused very much on immersion, you know, the feeling of actually being there on the battlefield, triggering all your senses. So when I look at it and when I listen to the feedback from the community, this second era has really been about the destruction and about that immersion, and that's what I've heard from the community as well.
And then through all that time, the community grew, and now it plays an even more important role than ever, don't they?
Oh, yes. I mean, I wouldn't be standing here and we wouldn't be releasing a new game if it wouldn't have been for all of you beautiful people out there, since it was clear already during 1942 that the success of that game was very much to all of you out there. And a lot of time has passed since then, but I mean, the most recent testament to this cooperation and kind of feedback loop is the community test environment, where we invite community. Yes! Woo! Yes! where we invite the community to be part of the process of developing and refining Battlefield into an even better experience. And I think there's so many brilliant minds out there and creative minds. So it's not only improving and coming up with new things, but it's even been building new maps. And to the point that we started to hire people from this environment. So it's brilliant people out there just waiting to help out. And I love that.
Yeah, and it's cool having a community that you can pull from.
Oh, yes. I mean, yes, we love great people, and apparently the world is full of them. but also this creativity is shown in so many ways. Just talking about the videos, for example, from 1942 and onwards, and we have many of the greatest minds and the greatest video makers here today. It makes us as developers so freaking very happy.
You can say freaking. That's fine.
I can say freaking.
That's fine.
Okay.
Don't take it any farther than that.
Yes. We love you. And it's not only the videos, it is the emblems, the creativity you induce. It's even to the point that back in my office, or our office, by my seats, I have this toilet lid cover that is airbrushed with the Battlefield 2 logo and motive, done by fans, and it's. I mean,
I'm glad
you got to love it.
I'm glad that's at your desk.
It is. You can be safe.
Yeah.
So, to me, Battlefield isn't only fun to play, but it is also fun to watch.
It's definitely fun to play, and it's even more better to watch. So, are you going to show us something to watch? Are you going to show us the new Battlefield? Huh? Yeah? Is it time?
Actually, we are bringing a special guest for this honor. So please welcome Patrick Söderlund to the stage.
Thank you, Lars. I'm humbled to be here today. And as I stand here thinking about the new game, I can't help but be very excited about the future of the franchise and the future for first-person shooters. Battlefield holds a very special place in my heart. I've been involved in each and every game since the beginning of the series. It's been a part of my life for almost 2 decades. It was the first true sandbox game. It was the first game to mix land, sea, and air vehicles. And now it's going to break new ground again. I know this because the developers at DICE have created something new, something special in their own signature way. They hold themselves to the highest standards. They drive to be the best. They push boundaries and always strive for more. I want to thank the people back home in Sweden for their dedication and passion. Talking about passion, the greatest games are always built on passion. Passion from the game makers like the team at DICE. Passion from all of you out there, the fan community. That's what inspires me. That's what gets me out of bed every morning. All of this comes together in Battlefield. It always has. Let me tell you one thing. Making games is exciting, but it's also hard. Creating amazing experiences takes a unique mix of creativity, technology, craftsmanship, and a community. The creativity, the dynamic, adaptive gameplay is what keeps things fresh. Dynamic environments, incredible destruction. These are the choices that mean no battle is ever the same. Technology, powered by the Frostbite engine, Battlefield has always been at the leading edge. Unmatched visuals, unmatched gameplay. Using Frostbite, awesome things come to life. Craftsmanship, one of the coolest things about game development. It's the only art form that brings together experts from so many areas. Even more than movies, games are the only medium that blends artists, engineers, technologists, musicians, and designers to create amazing, immersive, interactive entertainment. And the fourth thing is the community, you. You're the linchpin of all. The community is the engine that drives the action. I've seen you guys pull off some crazy stunts in Battlefield, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next. All of this is why Battlefield is so dear to me, both as a player and as a game maker. Now, it's time to show you where Battlefield is going next. Everything you're about to see was captured in-engine. This is Battlefield 1.
Chicos, he visto caballos, he visto una porra con pinchos. Tum, tum, tum. Dios mío, la que van a mangar. ¡Oh! ¡Oh! El Zeppelin, tío. Estoy en un grupo de PlayStation. Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1. Increíble. Atentos a los gritos. Increíble. Increíble.
That was awesome. Holy crap. Can we play it again? I think everybody would like to. Can we do that? Can we play it one more time? We can? Yes! Play it again!
Nos le vuelven a poner otra vez, chicos, le vamos a ver otra vez. Mirad caballos, mirad la porra esa que ha salido. Una pala. La avioneta ahí. Lo más Segunda Guerra Mundial. El tanque. Qué pasada. Mirad. Madre mía. Lanzallamas. Chicos, muchas cosas se ven. Ripcop, pone gente. Oh yeah, tíos. Oye, mucho hype. Battlefield 1. Vamos a cambiar el título.
Play it first on Xbox One with EA Access.
Acabo de cambiar el número.
Can we play it again?
Increíble.
Maybe later?
Chicos.
It's fine. Well, I definitely need to know more. I'm going to bring back Lars on stage to talk about what we just saw, because that was rad. That was insane.
Thank you.
Please, don't be shy, Lars. It's okay. It's out there now. That was rad.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I also have a little more help. I would like to bring out senior producer from DICE, Mr. Alex Grondal. Well done. And we have a Battlefield game changer here also. I'd like to introduce Westy to the stage.
Yeah. Hey man, how's it going? Yeah. Hey.
Woo! I need to have a seat. Adjust myself. I just saw. Guys, the trailer, Battlefield 1. It's out there. How excited are you for this, Alex?
Whew, I'm very excited. Finally, we get to reveal this secret that we've been working on for so many years. And I know the team and I have been waiting for this moment, and I'm super
Bueno,
happy
chicos,
to be able to
pues
share
acabamos de
this
ver ya
moment
más o
with you
menos
guys, our fans, and
lo que ha sido el
everyone else out there
estreno
on the
del
internet.
Battlefield 5
So, yeah,
World
super
y
excited.
lo que es ahora Battlefield 1.
Guys,
Pinta precioso.
Battlefield 1. It's out
Pinta
there.
precioso. He visto ahí cositas como la porra con pinchos, una pala, una ballesta.
Once again, as Alex says, to get to do
Tenía
it here in
muchísimas
front of
cosas.
you,
El tren,
in
el
front of
Zeppelin.
How excited are you for this, Alex?
Mucho juegazo, ¿eh? Mucho juegazo. Comentarme, chicos. Por desgracia pasará como en The Division, que lo nerfearon un huevo, dice Kami Gamer. Bueno, chicos, Eners dice, acabamos de ver ya más o menos, ¿se me oye? Perdón por el bucle. Pero pinta muy rico. Pero que Watch 2, Quantum Break, lucían muy bien, pero luego... Soy escéptico ya, buenas noches, Dan, no pasa nada, tío. Y buenas noches. Pero pinta muy rico, lo de la porra con pinchos me gusta a mí, la pala, accesorios ahí. Luego los mapas se ven enormes, tío. No sé. Buen estreno. Lo tengo puesto aquí, vamos a ponerla aquí. Perdonad.
You made an old man cry.
Well, there's also, you know, the people here and over 500,000
Bueno, yo aquí
people watching
cenando mientras lo
online,
veía, que era la mejor forma de verlo.
Westy, I mentioned you were
Estoy
part
en
of
un
the
grupo
Game
en
Changer
PlayStation
program.
con
Explain
juegos
a little bit about,
completos
what
ahí
that
hablando,
is and
porque
what
íbamos
it's
a
like
ponernos en directo
for the channel.
comentándolo, pero es que no hay nada que comentar. No hay nada que comentar, es un vídeo y poco que se ha visto. Ya cuando lo analicen bien y salgan imágenes y cosillas, pues bueno. Están hablando de la elaboración del juego, seguro. Se les ve probándolo. Oye, muy lol, me gusta un huevo. Ahora, chicos, resubiré en mi canal el vídeo del tráiler de Battlefield 1. Frostbite siempre ha optimizado muy bien sus juegos en todas las plataformas, dice Juber Milan. Sí, los mapas deben ser acojonantemente grandes, por lo menos por lo que se aprecia en el vídeo. Sí, bueno, los Battlefield su esencia siempre ha sido grandes, pero es que esto parecía más dimensión aún. Visto desde la avioneta esa. Quiero otra vez el tráiler, que me quiten a gordito hablando.
And this was also a time when there's the up and close combat was still a viable option, so there will be a lot more brutal and close combat as well, which is pretty cool to bring you as an experience.
Who doesn't love good close quarters combat? I'm a big fan. But you guys aren't just elevating the gameplay itself, you're taking us into a new era.
Yes, that's right. So we're bringing World War I to our players. So this is, as I said, the dawn of all-out war. And it's the genesis of the modern warfare. And this is why we called it Battlefield 1.
It all makes sense now. I see how you guys did that. Westy, what do you think about that?
Well, it definitely makes sense to me. I really like the contrast that you've got here between the history of World War I and this like technological advancement. It comes to a head, and that's like new and fresh. It hasn't been done for a long time, and I really do think it's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, as we started this game and as we set out to do it, it is all about what new type of gameplay can we provide, and when we started to shape those ideas, starting to dip our toes into what more does this era provide for us, since in the end it is about those gameplay experiences and the tools, all the little things that we provide you on the battlefield that will shape the next generation of your battlefield moments, or my battlefield moments. I hopefully meet you all on the battlefield.
Now, in the trailer, we see a few different locations, and I can only assume that you guys are going to be taking us to some new spots around the world?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Battlefield 1 is set on an epic scale. It's a global war. It took place in so many places that, to be honest, we didn't really know from the start. So we want to take the player on a journey around the world and show you front lines, like the more known ones, for example, like the Western Front. But then also take you on a journey to the more unexpected ones. Italian Alps, you know, big fortresses under siege, the deserts of Arabia where cavalry charges take place, creating new gameplay opportunities and possibilities that wouldn't be possible in the other ones. So all of this you will get to experience in different types of battles through multiplayer and the campaign.
And Westy, you said you've actually gotten to play Battlefield 1, which makes me jealous, but what was your experience as you...
Well, first of all, I really want to play it.
Come on, then!
Yeah, that's probably the best. Face shot! It makes you excited I'm sure the rest of
Get ready, man!
Everything, but if you force me to pick, I would say intensity of the battles, and then kind of physicality it reinforces the immersion.
Play it first
the
on Xbox
senses
One
of
with
the
EA
battle
Access.
going on the battlefield, where my actions and how they affect the world, but also how the world
21 de octubre, chicos, es
So
la
I'm
fecha.
super excited in seeing
21 de
you all
octubre.
taking
Tendremos la
on
beta
the
en
battle
septiembre,
and
supongamos. A
how
ver,
you
quiero
turn,
comentarios
you
en
know,
el
this
chat.
beautiful, pristine
¿Queréis que lo ponga otra
landscapes
vez?
into
¿Queréis que lo ponga otra vez?
devastating
¿Queréis que lo ponga otra
battlefields.
vez?
That's,
Chau,
yeah,
Cod, Rip Cop.
can't wait.
A ver, repetición, repetición. ¿Queréis que lo repitamos? Oye, la banda sonora no pueden haber elegido mejor canción para un Battlefield, para mi gusto. Va, lo ponemos otra vez, chicos. Darle un like ahí. Este directo me va a hacer daño. ¡Zasca! ¡Zasca! De caballo. Una espada. La Inquisition, como en el Hardline. Aquí estás en una torreta. Ahí le da con una pala. Este va con la ligera del avión. Ahí explota contra una torre. Aquí abre las compuertas del barco y sale espada, caballos, una ballesta que se pone una máscara de gas. Aquí se ve otro tanque, las trincheras, un tío con lanzallamas, un tren, el barco, más aviones. Madre mía. Estoy muy hypeado. Muy, muy hypeado, chicos. Vamos a seguir viendo el directo, ¿vale?
Continue to expand this sandbox,
Vale.
the toolbox. It is super important that
Ahí os
all
dejo
of these
el vídeo, está en el
parts,
canal de Battlefield,
are
¿ok?
built around the core of rock, paper,
Y bueno, en el
scissors
directo
in terms
siguen
of
hablando
gameplay.
sobre
Since
el
by
desarrollo
doing
y
this,
todo
maybe I
eso.
should
Battlefield
explain
1, tíos,
rock,
Battlefield
paper,
1.
scissors, when we talk about
Oh,
it's the fact that some games
la
have
vida es
super
una
weapons.
tómbola,
If you have
tómbola
it,
con
you're
Battlefield.
invincible. But in
A ver,
Battlefield
bueno.
and with rock, paper, scissors, there's always a counter to every tool. And that
Nos hemos
builds
quedado en
a
50
very
ahora.
interesting dynamic where we can allow ourselves to balance the game, but also build kind of the tension where all of your choices matter. And that is, to me, what makes Battlefield beautiful.
And I would like to say that it's more of an analog world, to say. It's more about what you see is what you get. You fire the bullet, it goes in that direction. And we really want to focus on the uniqueness of these tools that provides all new gameplay experience, like using the speed of a motorcycle, throwing explosives, blowing the people up, or maybe like Westy here, snipe a pilot out of a biplane.
Me voy al grupo de PS a comentar con Gaby. Chao, gente.
You're not?
Well,
Okay, then I will do it. Someone's got to do it. But the point here is that you should need to adapt to the style and loadout to the type of situation you're in, and that's really what we want to give you as a player.
That's choice.
Yes.
It's all about choice. I mean, the game obviously looks amazing, but it seems like you guys have made some pretty big steps forward with the immersion in the game.
Yeah, so immersion is important in Battlefield 1, and what we want to do is to create an experience that really draws you in. You really feel like you're there, and you lose many hours just being absorbed in the gameplay and in the world that you are. This is also a more of a physical and personal type experience like we touched on before, and I think you really feel it when you play. On top of that, we are adding some intuitive, more instinctive gameplay controls that basically should remove the layer of you between you and the game. And all of this should hopefully enable you to experience more of those awesome, only in Battlefield moments that we all love and crave for, in all honesty.
Yeah, I only echo what you say. At the heart of it, I mean, we often talk about technology and other things, but in the end, it's not about the technology, but what it allows us to do. And with the possibilities we have now, we're pushing really hard for the audio, for the visuals,
Bueno, gente,
and camera work,
pues
all of these things that allows you
con
to
esto voy a
really
despedir el
drown in
directo.
the
Ya hemos visto lo que
experience and
queríamos
feel
ver,
like
¿no?
you're
Que era
there.
el tráiler.
Since when all
Ha
of
estado
this
bastante bien.
happens, and of course, without interrupting
Vamos a
the
darle
flow
una
of the
vez más.
gameplay, that's when magic happens.
Va, chicos, con el tráiler dejo el directo. Así que gracias a todos los que habéis estado ahí, por vuestro like, por compartir, dejarme en los comentarios lo que opináis, qué paso están. Y nos vemos. Hasta la próxima. Gracias. Chao.